What's going on, guys? Felwinter here, bringing you another Destiny 2 video. Today's video is going to be tackling if it was the correct decision for Bungie to commit a large portion of its PvP team resources over to Marathon. Now, leading up to the Marathon announcement, we've known for a while that Bungie is working on other games while running Destiny, and along with that, we've felt the severe lack of new PvP content in the form of maps, modes, other innovations. Now, we have gotten sandbox updates that offer metagame shakeups, as well as the revamp of all the Crucible vendors and quality of life updates to go along with that. However, even taking all that into account, we have lacked any new major Crucible content. Now, let's face it, this decision was made by people that make way more money than you or I, and ultimately it comes down to two factors: monetization and technical limitation. On the monetization front, it's not 2012 anymore. You can't charge for a map pack and a new mode because it divides up your player base between people that buy the content and people that don't. This would inevitably lead to longer matchmaking and worse connections, and it is obviously not something Bungie wants for the game. The other way they could try and make money through extra PvP content would be to increase the price of the season pass. I know that this season they increased the silver price. If you buy it in silver, it's now 1,200 silver as opposed to 1,000. I'm talking about actually raising the price from $10 to $15 or even $20, depending on how much content they actually put in. Of course, the problem with that, if you do raise the season pass price, is that less people will buy the season, and then at that point it's a marketing decision whether it is better to have the $10 seasons that more people will buy or a $15 to $20 season that less people will buy, which one will make you more money. And where this ultimately leads would be that the paying players essentially would be subsidizing the free-to-play players, because once again, it would be a terrible idea if they broke up the player base between people who bought the extra content and then people that did not. And that would all be compounded by Destiny's really weird paywall system, which right now, you already have to buy all the old expansions if you want to play that content. But imagine if you had to buy old season passes as well just for the PvP content. It just wouldn't make sense, especially considering that most of the seasonal content gets vaulted at the end of an expansion year. It would just be a huge mess on how they'd get people to pay for all this. Now, I know it's been said a million times, but it's just really difficult to make money off the PvP in Destiny right now. And it's even harder to make the argument that it will increase player retention if we have good PvP when Lightfall and the Witch Queen got the best pre-order numbers and player base numbers at launch that we have ever seen, and they launched with zero new PvP content other than quality of life changes. And this brings me to the next issue, which is of course the technical issues, which have been staring us in the face since Lightfall has launched. Destiny is getting too big, and it's starting to collapse in on itself like a dying star. If over the last 3 to 4 years Bungie had been adding a vast library of PvP content, this would only have served to make this issue even more pronounced. At this point, splitting off into a new game might have been their only option just from a space issue, and hopefully will mean that Marathon will run way more smooth thanks to it not being burdened by having 6 years worth of old content in it. As much as I would like Bungie to continue adding even more to Destiny, I understand that from the development side, that's probably not even feasible at this point. I also understand that them making another free-to-play game that they can add microtransactions and possible future DLC to will make them even more money long term. Going forward, I'm still going to be proposing map and mode ideas for all areas of the game, mainly because I think those are the most fun kind of discussions to have. But I am a realist, and I understand that this is Bungie's way forward, and for them, it was the correct decision. As much as I'm tired of seeing Crucible left out in the cold, I'm excited for Marathon, as well as the final shape and what comes after. I want to see what Bungie can deliver with all its resources. After all, I've been playing their games for 16 years, and I won't be stopping anytime soon. But with all that being said, that's going to be it for this video. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this. I'm really curious if you would be up for spending a bit more money each season if it meant robust additions to the Crucible. I am really curious about that. With that though, this is Felwinter signing out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.